and the time with the enthusiastic tutor. And in today's tutorial, we are taking the course CSS136, and this happens to be the last course or the last class on the course, and the subsequent class will no longer be this course, but other courses we're yet to take. All right, so I need you to pay utmost attention, and I need you to please take down notes as it is required of you. Okay, so with this being said, let's hop straight into it. Okay, so we have CSS136, CSS136. Okay, and today we'll be talking about social disorganization. Okay, social disorganization. Alright, if you remember very well, in our last class, we talked about a lot of theories about social approach. Okay, and we were able to talk about beliefs and how it affects. We were able to talk about involvement. We were able to talk about commitment. All this we were able to talk about and how it affects social behaviors. All right, so today we're going to be talking about social disorganization. Now, when we say social disorganization, what are we talking about? Now, the key point here is that when we say social disorganization, it means that the usual controls, all right, the controls that are kept, all right, controls that are meant to put delinquents in order are absent. All right, when delinquents are not put in order, all right, when delinquents, and when we say delinquents, what are we talking about? This is a crime, right, that is perpetrated by a minor. All right, now if laws are not put in check, if law are not laid down, certain rules and laws are not laid down to put in check this act of, all right, perpetrating or act of voluntarily kicking against the rules and regulation, all right, then we have social disorganization. All right, now we have condition in which control over the control over delinquents, all right, control over delinquents, the control over delinquents are largely absent. Then we have social, all right, we have social disorganization. All right, now delinquents, all right, is usually or often approved by parents, neighbors, peers, and etc. All right, delinquents does not just happen without the approval, all right, of parents, neighbors, all right, peers, etc. Okay, delinquents or delinquents, okay, is often approved by parents, all right, peers, all right, neighbors. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, the concepts of social disorganization emanate from Chicago School of Sociology, all right, in the year 1920s and 1930s. All right, emanates social disorder or social disorganization, all right, emanates, all right, emanates from the Chicago School of Sociology. All right, emanate from the Chicago School of Sociology. All right, from the Chicago School of Sociology in the 1920s and 30s. All right, so we have that as that. Now, there are many opportunities for delinquents behavior, and there is little encouragement, training, or opportunity for legitimate employment. All right, there are many opportunities, there are many, all right, things that leads, all right, that encourages delinquents, okay, all right, as against the fact that there should be more opportunities and legitimate employment, all right, to discourage delinquents. Now, this is what Baum and Halley in 2005 contributed. All right, that is the contribution of Baum and Halley. Baum spelled that's BOHM, and Halley in 2005. All right, that there are so many opportunities for delinquents. All right, the society, all right, the society is making, all right, society is pushing a lot of young people into crime. That's what it's talking about. Rather than bringing young people out of crime, the society of today is pushing young people into crime. Okay, now we have that as that. So on this premise, we're going to continue, and we're going to move straight into the types of crime. All right, there are varieties of crimes. So we are going to be talking about the types of crime very quickly. So we have types of crime. Okay, now when we say types of crime, we have violence as the very first one. Now, violence is a behavior. Get this straight. Violence is a behavior, and it involves physical force, all right, with the sole intention to hurt, all right, to damage, or to even kill, which is the extreme. All right, that is violence. Okay, it's a behavior. It's a behavior. All right, it's a behavior. All right, and this behavior is physical. It's a physical behavior. All right, it's physical. All right, it involves physical force. All right, the use of physical force to do what? To, with the intention of hurting others, hurt, damage, or the extreme, which is kill. Damage or kill. That's violence. Okay, now definitely it doesn't just happen, something must have led to it. Now let's quickly talk about the evolutionary factor, okay, of violence, or the human instinct of violence. Now, according to Sigmund Freud in 1922, Sigmund Freud, as we all know, you must have heard the name Sigmund Freud. If it's not in psychology, it's in sociology. All right, he's a renowned psychologist, and he believed that human aggression and violence are produced by instinctual drive. Okay, now Sigmund. Okay, that's Sigmund Freud. All right, a psychologist, a renowned psychologist. Now he said in 1922, he posited, all right, that human aggression and violence are produced by are produced by what? You don't want to lose. Okay. Human violence and aggression, okay, are produced by instinctual drive. Produced by instinctual drive. Okay. Now, Stigmund did not stop there. All right. He went ahead and made his point well known. All right. He maintained that human possesses two opposing psychological drive. This psychological drive interact to control the behavior. All right. This instinctive psychological drive interacts to control his behavior. Now, these drives are two drives. According to Sigmund Freud, two drives. The first is eros, and the second is thanatos. Thanatos. All right, two drives. All right, and these drives, what they are, psychological drives. All right, that predominate human behavior. All right, that is predominant over human behavior. All right, these two drives, according to Sigmund Freud in 1922, are eros and thanatos. Now, when we say eros, what should come in mind? Now, it is the life instinct. Okay, this drive people towards self-fulfillment and enjoyment. Life instinct. All right, self fulfillment and pleasure, enjoyment. That is eros. All right, and the thanatos is the death instinct. All right, self-destruction. All right, death instinct as opposite to death instinct. It is self-destruction as opposite to eros. So thanatos is opposite to eros. All right, why eros is the life instinct. All right, so categorized, we have self-fulfillment and we have enjoyment, while thanatos is the death instinct. We have self-destruction. All right, so we have thanatos can be expressed externally as violence and sadism. All right, some people are just always sad. They are called sadists. Okay, now the psychological drive, all right, that predominates human behavior, which is thanatos, has actually dominated them. All right, and that is why they are externally expressing that they are sadists. Okay, now that is thanatos being expressed. Okay, and this behavior, all right, is what leads to suicide. All right, alcoholism. Okay, we have alcoholism, and we have other self-destructive habits. All this, all thanks to thanatos. Okay, all thanks to thanatos. Okay, so this is one thing we should look out for and not let life put us under this category. All right, now as aggression is instinctual, now Freud saw little hope for its treatment. All right, as aggression is instinctual. All right, Freud saw little hope for its treatment. All right, treatment. So it's something we need to be deliberate and particular about, not to fall under. All right, now let's proceed. Now we have, this is just one thing under crime. All right, we also have drug abuse, and we said drug abuse is defined as the arbitrary over dependence or misuse of one particular drug without a proper or prior medical diagnosis, all right, from a qualified health practitioner. Okay, I'm just going to erase this very quickly. I believe that is clear enough. That's drug abuse. Okay. That's number 2. And drug abuse is the arbitrary over dependency on a particular drug without what? A prior, all right, medical diagnosis from a professional health practitioner. Now, drug abuse has been likened to violence in one of 3 ways. All right, likened to violence in one of 3 ways. 1, psychopharmacological relationship. All right, first is psychopharmacological relationship. Here, violence may be direct consequence of ingesting. When you say ingesting, when you pass into yourself, all right, ingest into yourself, from the word ingest, all right, ingesting mood, all right, or altering substance that is likely to reduce cognitive ability, your level of reasoning, reducing your level of reasoning while limiting the capacity for rational dialogue. All right, this is one we call the psychopharmacological. All right, psychopharmacological relationship. Okay, that's relationship. Psychopharmacological relationship. This is when you ingest yourself with whatsoever, all right, substance, and this will reduce your cognitive ability and limit your capacity of thinking rationally. All right, it's one thing that happens on the ghetto streets, and you see people saying they are on colos or they are high on drugs. All right, this is the kind of drug abuse that is likened to violence. All right, now we have the economic compulsive behavior. Now, drug users or dealers, all right, resort to violence to obtain the financial resources to support their habits. All right, this is when drug users or drug dealers resort to violence in order to obtain financial resources. All right, that's economic compulsive behavior. Economic compulsive behavior. All right, when drug users or drug dealers resort to violence in order to obtain financial resource to support their habit. All right, now we have the systemic link, which is the systemic link. Now, systemic link is the kind of violence escalated when drug dealing gangs flex their muscles to dominate a territory and drive out rivals. All right, that is the systemic link. All right, when drug when drug addicts or drug gangs flex their muscles to show who is better, all right, who is stronger, when they become territorial, all right, and they drive out their rivals, then we say systemic link. So all these drug abuses linked to violence, we have the pharmacological relationship, we have the economic compulsory behavior, and we have the systemic link. All right, please permit me to, oh my goodness, there we go, just a moment please. Okay, just a moment and we are good to go. Okay, all right, so I think it's better now, or maybe I should switch this off. Yeah, I think it's not bad this way, it's not bad. All right, from my end here, I think I can see what it's like. Okay, yeah, it's not bad, we can work with this. So we have socialization and upbringing. Okay, socialization and upbringing. Now, when we say socialization and upbringing, what are we talking about? Now, another view is that improper socialization. Okay, I think I might need to switch on this lamp. It's looking kind of dark. Okay, it's looking kind of dark. I think something we can manage it like this. Yeah, I think it's better. It's looking too dark. It was looking too dark. Okay, yeah, I think it's better. Now, another view is that improper socialization and upbringing might be responsible for the onset of violence acts. Improper what am I right? Improper socialization and upbringing. All right, improper socialization and upbringing, all right, is also responsible for onset act of violence. Onset act of violence. All right, just like we all know that bad communication, all right, corrupt good manners. Okay, so if there's improper socialization and improper upbringing, definitely, all right, it can be traced down to why some persons, all right, behave so violently. Okay, now we have that as that. Now let's proceed. Exposure to violence. Now, people who are constantly exposed to violence at home, at school, or in the environment may adopt a violent method themselves. All right. So we have cultural values and subcultural values of violence. Now, when we talk about the cultural values, all right, another theory that violence is the product of the belief, values, and behavior that develop the nation's poorest, most disorganized area. All right, so here, according to what we have here, there's a theory that says that violence is the product of belief. All right. Product of belief. All right. Now, we also have influences from peer groups. All right. Empirical evidence, just like what we said here, improper socialization. Empirical evidence had proven that violence rates are highest in the urban area, all right, where subcultural values support teenage gangs, whose members typically embrace the use of violence, all right. High rate of violence in urban areas, all right. Now we have forcible rape, okay. We have forcible rape, and according to William Green, all right, William Green in 1988. Now, he said rape from the Latin word rapere. Okay, I think I might. Okay, let me just manage it here. Latin word. All right, from the Latin word repere, all right, took by force, or we have take by force. That's what the Latin word repere means. Take by force. All right, is defined in common law as the carnal knowledge of a female forcibly and against her will. All right, when you take by force, all right, according to the Latin word rapere, all right, but it's defined in common law, defined in common law, defined in common law as defined in common law as the carnal knowledge all right, the carnal knowledge of a female, all right, when you have a carnal knowledge towards the opposite sex, carnal knowledge of a female forcibly and against her will, forcibly and against her will, all right, according to common law. Okay, so we have that as that, and we have forms of rape. Okay, we have forms of rape. We have the gang rape, we have the serial rape, and we have the acquaintance rape. Now, when we see the gang rape, that is, self-explanatory, where we have rape that involves multiple offenders on an individual. All right, this is the rape that involves multiple offenders on an individual. Now, gang rape, then, as might be expected, are more severe in violence and outcome. All right, it is the most severe in violence and in outcome. Most severe in violence and outcome. All right, we have the serial rape. Some rapists are one-time offenders, but others engage in multiple or series of or serial rape, right? Okay, so we have acquaintance. Now, acquaintance rape involves someone known to the victim, including family members and friends, from the word acquaintance. All right. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, according to what we have here, acquaintance rape has subcategories. Okay, we have statutory rape, we have the date rape, we have marital. Wow, this is interesting. Now, marital rape here says marital, we have date, and we have what is the third one? Statutory. Statutory. All right. Okay. Now, under the marital rape, it says here the forcible sex between people who are legally married. Okay, legally married husband cannot be charged with rape. Okay, could be interesting. All right. Within married people. Okay, meaning that illegally. Okay, just a moment. So, according to what we have here, it says the marital rape is the forcible sex between people who are legally married, and a legally married man could, all right, could be charged, okay, with raping his wife. All right, so we have the statutory rape, which refers to the sexual relationship between an underage minor female and an adult male. Underaged minor female and an adult male. All right, and date rape is involves sexual attack during courtship relation. Wow. During courtship relation, sexual attack during courtship relation. All right, so we have all that. We have all that as that. Now let's continue. Now we have homicide. Now homicide is the name given to all killings of human being by another human being. Homicide. All right, this is the name given to the killings of human killing of human by another. All right, we have degree murderer. Now degree murder, all right, is quite different from homicide. Okay, now we have degrees. Okay, so the first degree murder occurs when someone kills another person after premeditations and deliberation. Wow. First degree murder, killing after deliberation. That's interesting. Or premeditation / premeditation. All right, that's the first degree murderer. And we have the second degree. All right, the second degree. Okay, we have fast spent our time. Okay, you just have to rush things. Now the second degree has to do with requires that although may be the void the killer to have malice or malice have forethought, all right, premeditation. Okay, now second degree is homicide with malice. All right, killing as a result of malice. Okay, now homicide without malice is called manslaughter. Without malice equals to manslaughter. All right, homicide without malice equals to manslaughter. All right, so we have assault and battery. Assault and battery. All these are under crime. All right, there are quite a lot of them here. Now, although many people mistakenly believe the term assault and battery as refer to a single act, they are actually two separate crimes. Now, battery requires offensive application of force. All right, offensive application of force by touching, slapping, hitting, or punching a victim. All right, offensive application of force. All right, hitting and touching. Of the victim. All right, and we have assault. All right, may not necessarily be physical. All right, may not necessarily be physical. It may be verbal. All right, threat that force is about to be used on the victim. All right, may be verbal. All right, threat, of force. Threat of force on victim. So assault is not just physical, it could also be verbal, but battery is purely physical. All right, so we have that as that. Now we have assault in home. All right, we have child abuse, we have sexual abuse. All right, we have parent abuse, and parent abuse are sometimes, all right, the target of abuse from their own children. All right, target of abuse from children when they are can imagine children abusing parents. This is serious. So we have all this as assault in the home. All right, children abuse, sexual abuse, and parent abuse. Now we have violence crime 2. All right, where we have robbery. All right, and we say robbery is what? Robbery is what? The taking or attempting to take anything of value from the care, custody, or control of person or persons by force or threat of force or violence. Now, what are we saying in essence? When we talk of robbery, it is the what? Attempting to take All right. First, there has to be an attempt to take what anything of value away from the custodian. Away from the custodian. All right. With the use of force. Now you want to attempt to take something away from the custodian, you definitely is force you use. All right. Force, threat, or violence. Force, threat, or violence. All right. Now we have that as that. So according to Iwami Jaja, Iwami Jaja in 1991. All right, Iwami Jaja. Now, according to Iwami Jaja of 1991, all right, he referred to robbery as an act to constitute robbery. It says all elements of larceny plus two additional elements must be present. According to him, all elements of larceny plus two additional elements must be present. Now, the property must be taken from the person who possesses it legally, all right? And secondly, it must be taken by force. Now, these are the elements of larceny, all right? Element of larceny. One, two, use of force, and first, take unlawful possession. All right, so we have that as that. Now, the typology of robbery. All right, we have robbery of persons, robbery in an open area, robbery on private premises. Now, robbery of persons. Now, this is when an individual is being robbed of his money or goods. Robbery of a person, individual is being robbed of his money or goods. All right, robbery in an open area. Robberies include street offenses, mugging, pursue snatching, and other attacks. That is robbery in an open area. And we have robbery on private premises. This type of robbery involves robbing people after breaking into their homes. All right, now we have terrorism. And on this note, we should be calling the wrap for today. Now, when we say terrorism, what are we talking about? The use of threats of violence to intimidate or cause panic, especially as a means of affecting political conduct. All right, terrorism. All right, use of threats or violence. The use of threat or violence to what? Intimidate or cause panic. When you use threats, all right, to intimidate or cause panic, especially when it is politically engineered or when it is politically influenced, all right, to affect political culture, then that is the act of terrorism. All right, so we have that as that. Now we have property crime. All right, so we have occasional crimes, And we also have professional crimes. All right. In contrast to occasional crimes, professional crimes make a significant portion of their income from crime. Those are professional criminals. Okay, we have that as that. And let's quickly talk about homosexuality. Homosexuality, and we call that a wrap for today. Homosexuality. Now, according to Oxford Advanced Learning Dictionary, it is the practice where a person is sexually attracted to people of the same sex. According to the Oxford Advanced Learning or Learner Dictionary. All right, it is derived from the keyword, from the Greek word homos. And homos means same. All right, homos means same and refer to erotic interest in member of one's own sex. All right, we have erotic interest in members of one's own sex. All right, that is what homosexuality is referred to. We have paraphilia. Paraphilias. All right, when we say paraphilia, this is something else. All right, it has been recorded for thousands of years. All right, from the Greek word para. From the Greek word para. All right, to decide of. All right, paraphilia. Now we are trying to break philia and paraphilia into bits. All right, para, and we have philos. Okay, now to the side of, and philos means loving. now paraphilias are bizarre, right? They are abnormal, all right? Abnormal sexual practice. Sexual practice, all right? Abnormal sexual practice, all right, that involve recurrent sexual urges focused or directed towards one non-human object. All right, non-human objects such as shoes, bags, or leathers. All right, emulation or experience of receiving or giving pain. All right, such as sadomasochism or bondage. And we have children or others who cannot grant consent. All right, all these are referred to as paraphilians. All right, so on this note, we'll call it a wrap for today. And okay, I think do we have this course tomorrow? Just a moment. Let me check if we have this course tomorrow. Just a moment, please. Okay, so we can all see spoken about um, terrorism. Okay, spoken about homosexuality. All right, I'm saying terrorism is all right when violence and threats are being introduced. All right, in order to what affect. Okay, in order to what affect political culture. All right, when threats or violence geared is geared politically. All right, in order to affect political decision, then that is terrorism. All right, and we have homosexuality, which is when an individual is attracted to same sex. All right, so I think on this note, we call it a wrap for today, and we call it a wrap for the course. All right, CSS136. And in our subsequent class, we'll be taking some other, all right, some other courses in the department. So, thank you very much, everyone. And I believe you've been able to gain a thing or two. Let's keep our notes up to date, send it to our respective classes, and I look forward to seeing you in subsequent tutorial. Bye bye.